والشرك على عبد عنه. الحمد لله وحده والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تبعه بإحسان إلى يوم القيامة. قال الشيخ سليمان بن سليم الله الرحيلي حفظه الله ورعاه: الأصل الرابع من فقه الفتن لزوم العلماء والحرص على عقد عنه وتعجب بأدبهم. لا يزال الناس بخير ما عرفوا لعلمائهم حقهم ولزموا ركبهم، ولا يزالون بخير ما بقي فيهم العلماء. وفقد عالم ظلمة عظيمة وباب ينتظره الشيطان ليبث الفتن. جاء في طبقات الحنابلة قال الأصرم: ولقد تبين عند آل العلم عظم المصيبة بما فقدنا من شيخنا أبي عبد الله أحمد بن محمد بن حنبل، إمامنا ومعالمنا ومعالم من كان قبلنا منذ أكثر من 60 سنة. وموت عالم مصيبة لا تجبر والظلمة لا تسد. فقد ظننت أن عدو الله وعدو المسلمين إبليس وجنوده قد عادوا من الفتن أسبابا انتظروا بها فقده، لأنه كان يقمع باطلهم ويزهق أحزابهم. وكانت أول بدعة علمتها خاشية من الفتن المجلة ومن العماية بعد الهدى أن قد رأيت قوم في حياة أبي عبد الله كانوا لزموا البيت على أسباب من النسك وقلة من العلم، فأكرمهم الناس ببعد ما ظهر لهم من حبهم للخير، فدخلهم العجب مع قلة العلم، فكان لا يزال أحدهم يتكلم بالأمر العجيب، فيدفع الله ذلك بقول الشيخ جزاه الله أفضل ما جزى ما تعلمنا منه، ولا يكون من أحد منهم ذلك شيء إلا كان سبب فضيحته وهتك ما مضى من ستره. فأنا حافظ من ذلك لأشياء كثيرة، وإنما هذا من مكايد إبليس مع جنوده. يقول لأحدهم: أنت ومن مثلك، فقل قد قال غيرك، ثم يلقى في قلبه شيء وليس هناك سعة في علم، ويزين عنده أن يبتدئه ليشمت به. وإن كل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. وقد ظننت آخرين يلتمسون شهرة ويحبون أن يذكروا، وقد ذكر قبلهم قوم بأنواع من البدع فافتضحوا. ولأن يكون الرجل تابعا في خير من أن يكون رأسا في الشر. الأصل الخامس. جزاكم الله خيرا.
الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أما بعد. We stop on the fourth basic rule the Muslim must understand regarding fitan. Shaykh Sulayman Ar-Ruhayli refers to it as Al-Asl Al-Rabi'. Al-Asl Al-Rabi', he says, من فقه الفتن لزوم العلماء والحرص على الأخذ عنهم والتأدب بأدبهم. من فقه الفتن, from the ruling that the individual must understand and stick to during the times of fitna is what? Luzumul ulama. Sticking to the ulama. Stick to them. Stand where they stand. Say what they say. Keep quiet when they keep quiet. Luzumul ulama. Sticking to the scholars during the times of fitna. He says it is one of the rulings of the Sharia we must observe when there is fitna. وَالْحِرْصُ عَلَى الْأَخْذِ عَنْهُمْ, and making good effort عَلَى الْأَخْذِ عَنْهُمْ, making good effort to take from them, to learn from them. The last 5 days I have been taking a lot of cold water. So I have irritations on my throat. The reason I have to say that is well known to all of us. So one of the rulings that we must observe during the times of fitan is لزوم العلماء والحرص على الأخذ عنهم. We must make good effort to take from them during the time of fitna. وَالتَّعَدُّبُ بِأَدَبِهِ, and learn their lines of conduct. The way they behave, we behave like that. The way they behave in the time of fitna, we behave like that. They are not going anywhere, they are not saying anything, you don't go anywhere either. When we ask, why are you not, we have our ulama, they have not said anything, so we keep quiet. The statement is for them, not for us. So for us, Muslims in the Ummah of Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, upon the Sunnah, there is no sort of okay. Because the only people who should speak are the learned elderly ones amongst us. So not everybody is saying something. If everybody is saying something, there will be problems in the land. So now they say everybody say something. And that itself is some form of hypocrisy, because what they want you to say is only what you should say. So don't say anything, keep quiet. So تَتَعَدَّبُ بِأَدَبِ الْعُلَمَاءِ. You take to the manners of the ulama in the time. So the Shaykh says, حفظه الله, لا يزال الناس بخير ما عرفوا لعلمائهم حقهم. لا يزال الناس, the people will continue to be upon goodness. ما عرفوا, as long as they recognize the rights of their scholars for them. As long as they recognize the rights of the scholar and maintain the rights of the scholar, they will continue to be upon goodness. Why? The scholars understand the limits of the Sharia. So when they act, they are acting upon the dictates of the Sharia. So if we follow them, inshallah, we are not likely to make mistakes. It's just like a lawyer in a law court. I don't know anyone apart from those who are lawyers amongst us. If you go to a law court, especially for the first time, and you have gone with a lawyer, you like to stay near the lawyer. You like to do only what he does. I have been in a law court where a government official was sentenced for 6 months because he was receiving a call in the court. The judge said, you are receiving a call in my court. That person is from NDLEA. So you are receiving a call in my court. Before you could say sorry, say, okay, get into the box. I send you 6 months. All the lawyers started begging, please sir, my lord, you know the way they do. So many of the times when people recognize these problems they may have in a law court, they will be following the lawyer because they know that lawyers will not err in a law court. They have learned how not to err in the law court. So because of this confidence they have, lawyers know how to conduct themselves in a law court. The same way the ulama know how to conduct themselves in the times of fitna. So as you would follow a lawyer inside a law court so that you don't make a mistake, the same way you follow the ulama in the times of fitna so that you don't make a mistake. I hope that this point is clear. He says, من فقه الفتن لزوم العلماء. From the rulings in the issues of trials and afflictions, widespread problems, is that we speak to the ulama, وَالْحِرْصُ عَلَى الْأَخْذِ عَنْهُمْ. We should make good efforts to take from their knowledge. وَتَعَدُّبُ بِأَدَبِهِمْ. We make adab, we learn from their lines of conduct. And then he says, لَا يَزَالُ النَّاسُ بِخَيْرٍ the people will continue. They will not stop being upon goodness. مَا عَرَفُوا لِعُلَمَائِهِمْ حَقَّهُمْ, as long as they recognize the rights of their scholars. And then they discharge these rights to them. We've mentioned a hadith in the message of the Messenger alayhi salatu wasalam, when he said that لَيْسَ مِنَّا مَنْ لَا يَعْرِفُ لِعَالِمِنَا حَقَّهُ لَيْسَ مِنَّا. He is not upon our way of life, our lines of conduct. Who is that? The one who will not recognize the rights of the ulama. So the Sheikh says, وَلَزِمُوا رِكَابَهُمْ. The one who will not stick to their company is not upon. The one who will not recognize the rights of the scholar, وَلَزِمُوا رِكَابَهُمْ. He will not also stick to their company. So this is wrong for us to do. As long as we do that, as long as we recognize the rights of the ulama and stick to their company, لَا يَزَالُ النَّاسُ بِخَيْرٍ. The people will continue to be upon goodness. It says, وَلَا يَزَالُونَ بِخَيْرٍ مَا بَقِيَ فِيهِمْ عُلَمًا. The people will also continue to be upon goodness as long as there are some scholars remaining amongst them. As long as there are scholars, the people will be upon goodness. Why? Many of the times when they want to go astray, their scholars tell them, don't go astray, don't take it. When people who are half-baked in terms of the knowledge of the deen, they bring shubuhat, they bring things of confusion, their scholars will clarify the confusion. They will explain the confusion. They will quote a hadith, there is no proof in the hadith. When we left the class last Sunday, someone came to me and said, the Messenger alayhi salatu wasalam, on the day of Fathu Makkah, when he came into Makkah triumphant, was that not a protest against Makkah? So I asked him, who was the authority, who was the king of Makkah at the time? He said when the Messenger alayhi salam came to Makkah on Fathu Makkah, is that not rising against the authority in Makkah? So I asked him, who was the authority in Makkah? The Arabs did not know any organized authority. It was an issue of winner takes it all. The stronger you are, the more influential you are in the community. The Arabs at the time did not know a central authority. Everybody was a leader in his own right. So he mentioned to me Abū Sufyān. So I asked him, was Abū Sufyān Malik to Makkah? Was Abū Sufyān the king of Makkah? He wasn't. So the Prophet was not rising against any authority. He was not rising against any constituted authority. Alayhi salatu wasalam. So when the people bring shubhat, our ulama will clarify it for us. So this is shubha. It is not a proof. It is not dalil. It is shubha. So that's why the Shaykh says, Hafizahullah, لا يزالون بخير ما بقي فيهم علماء. The people will continue to be upon the sunnah as long as the scholars remain amongst them. When the people bring shubhat, they refute the shubhat. During the times of the protest, someone went and wrote 50 points why you must protest. Shubhat. He just gathered shubhat. He almost said that when an imam is leading in salah and he errs perhaps in his qira'ah or in his takbirat, instead of saying Sami Allahu liman hamida, if he says Allahu Akbar and he says Subhanallah, he almost said that Subhanallah itself is evidence that you can protest. If you read the 50 points, shubhat. May Allah protect us. So when the ulama are with the people, they will be explaining the shubhat. The gimmicks of shaitan. When shaitan comes in another color, they will explain to the people. That's why the ulama say this a lot. La yazaluna bi khairin. The people will continue to be upon goodness. Ma baqiya fihim ulam. As long as the scholars are amongst them, they will be upon goodness. Then he said, وَفَقْدُ الْعَالِمِ ثُلْمَةٌ عَظِيمَةٌ. فَقْدُ الْعَالِمِ. Losing a scholar. When we lose a scholar, it is sulma, a big void. Azima, that is huge, a void. Sulmatun azima. Faqdul ulama, when the scholars are lost, when we miss them, they go away. It is sulmatun azima. Because when there are shubhat, who will refute shubhat? When things are not clear to us, who will explain? When we have deliberate questions, we don't know at all. Who will tell us what to do? When someone mentions a book that does not exist, who will tell us that book does not exist? When someone mentions a hadith that is not authentic, who will tell us this hadith is right? Who? They said one day the Messenger alayhi salatu wasalam in the early time, he gathered himself, Umar, Uthman, Ali, and Hamza. They gathered themselves, they held themselves on the neck, they started shouting, making takbirat and going towards Makkah. They said that is protest. This is munkar. This report has no authentic report at all. Who will expose these things to us? And perhaps we might have read that in the books of Tariq. But where is the Islam that will make us understand that this is something to depend on? So the ulama, usually they say this statement, that the people, la yazaluna bi khayr, they will continue, they will not stop being upon goodness. They will continue to be upon goodness. Ma baqiya fihim al-ulama, as long as their scholars are with them. Wa faqdul alim, and losing a scholar, sulmatun azimatun, is a big void. That gap will be there. Would we not have been saying if Shaykh Al-Albani was there, perhaps there wouldn't be all this terrorism? Because when they say keep quiet, they'll keep quiet. In Algeria, when there was trouble, they called Shaykh Muhammad ibn Salih al-Uthaymeen. Yeah, Shaykh. They explained the situation to them. He said, all of you who have run to the mountains, go back home. People started returning to their homes. They were asked, who told you to do that? Shaykh ibn Uthaymeen said we should return home. Everybody returned home. Many of the fitan we have in our own time started when these people went away. Shaykh Bombal, Shaykh Al-Albani, Shaykh Muqbil Al-Wadi. These are the big scholars of Sunnah in our time. Most of the scholars who are remaining now are students of these people, or people who will refer to them. Shaykh Bombal will refer to them. I was a little young boy when I was hearing about one big scholar in Saudi Arabia who was blind yet big scholar. It's a little young boy. When he spoke, everybody followed him. Or Imam Al-Albani, when he spoke, he followed him. Who said that Albani says we should do this? But when the people went away, it's a big boy. I asked one of the students of Shaykh Al-Albani, rahimahullah, face to face, I said, who amongst you is like him? He said, there is no one. If you gather all of us and our knowledge together, he's still more knowledgeable than us. He said, if you gather our knowledge, all of us, the students, put it together, the knowledge of our teacher is still bigger than our own. So, faqdul alim, when a scholar becomes dead, it is sulmatun azima. A big void is created. In Nigeria, when Sheikh Ja'far Mahmoud passed away in Kano, has Kano known someone who makes tafsir like Ja'far Mahmoud? A big void is created. When in Zaria Mala Albani passed away, do the people have known someone who is upon the sunnah like him? A big void is created. So that's why he says, Faqtul ulama sulmatul azima. The passing away, the losing of scholar, when we lose them, a big void is created. It remains who to step in that void. Yes, there will be ulama. It should not be misunderstood that what they are saying is that once those people die, then there are no scholars again. There are. But human beings and knowledge and the virtues which Allah favors us, are we not in darajat? So the Shaykh says, فَقْدُ الْعَالِمْ سُلْمَةٌ عَظِيمًا. Missing a scholar is a very big void. وَبَابٌ. And when a scholar dies, that's a door. يَنْتَظِرُهُ الشَّيْطَانِ. It's a door that shaitan is waiting for. Àwọn apá àwọn ti kú. Ojú yóò rí nǹkan ní. Shaitan will now start with big shubha. Shaitan is happy that their scholars have gone. Those people who will help clarify those ambiguities, they have gone. Okay, he starts a lot of shubha. May Allah protect us from this evil of shaitan. He says, وَبَابٌ يَنْتَظِرُهُ الشَّيْطَانِ. First the ulama, missing the scholars, is بَابٌ يَنْتَظِرُهُ الشَّيْطَانِ. It's a deep door that the shaitan waits for. لِيَبُثَّ الْفِتَنِ, so that he finds ease in spreading fitna. He finds ease in spreading ambiguity. He finds ease in spreading ignorance. May Allah protect us. The Shaykh wanted to cite an incident now from the life of Al-Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal to make us understand the importance of the ulama with the people and what usually happens when the ulama go away. So he said, Hafizahullah, جاء في طبقات الحنابلة. It is reported in طبقات الحنابلة. طبقات الحنابلة is a book, if I still remember, in about 4 volumes by Imam Abu Hussein Muhammad ibn Abi Ya'la al-Hanbali. طبقات الحنابلة is a book that carries the biography, the life of the scholars upon the madhab of Al-Imam Ahmad, beginning with Imam Ahmad himself and the rest of the scholars upon madhab Al-Imam Ahmad. So this book is referred to as Tabaqat al-Hanabila. It is called Tabaqat because it discusses these scholars from one level to the other. The earliest one, then those who came after, then those who came after, then those who came after, like that. Each of them is called Tabaqat. So, and they are all referred to as what? Tabaqat. So he's talking about scholars in their succession as they have come upon the madhab of Al-Imam Ahmad. There is that too upon the ulama of Shafi'i, the Al-Imam al-Subki. There is that upon the ulama of Tarajum, ulama madhab Malikiyah. That occurs in about 3 or 4 volumes. So you have Kutub al-Tabaqat, books that have discussed ulama from one category to the other. This was written by Imam Abu Ibn Abi Ya'la al-Hanbali, rahimahullah. So it says, جاء في طبقات الحنابلة. It occurs in that book that قال أسرم. Al-Imam Asram is one of the students of Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal. His name is Ahmad ibn Muhammad. Al-Imam al-Asram, he is Ahmad ibn Muhammad, who was a very learned scholar upon the line of the scholars of Hadith and Fiqh. He was mentioned that he hardly forgot anything. Imam al-Asram, this student of Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, he hardly forgot anything. That's why some of the scholars like Al-Imam Yahya ibn Ma'in, they have an opinion that his mother was a jinn. It was Al-Imam al-Asram that they believed that his mother was a jinn. So others say no, they are saying that by way of describing his zakah, his intelligence. Rahimahullah. He said regarding Al-Imam Ahmad and his passing away, وَلَقَدْ تَبَيَّنَ عِنْدَ أَهْلِ الْعِلْمِ عِظَمُ الْمُصِيبَةِ بِمَا فَقَدْنَا مِنْ شَيْخِنَا. لَقَدْ تَبَيَّنَ عِنْدَ أَهْلِ الْعِلْمِ. It has become clear, certainly, to the scholars, the people of knowledge. What became clear to them? عِظَمُ الْمُصِيبَةِ. The greatness of the trial, the affliction, the adversity, بما فقدنا من شيخنا أبي عبد الله أحمد ibn Muhammad ibn Hanbal, by the death of Al-Imam Ahmad ibn Muhammad ibn Hanbal. It became clear to the scholars that his death is a big fitna, an affliction. It's an affliction to us. Why? فقد العالم ثلمة عظيم. It is that sulma, that big boy that he has referred to as affliction. Come and say, wow, we were afflicted with an adversity with the death of Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal. Rahimahullah. It says, Imamina our leader, wa muallimina, and our teacher, wa muallimi man kana qabilana, منذ أكثر من 60 سنة. Imam Ahmad was our teacher. And he's the teacher of those who came before us since 60 years ago. Since 60 years ago, he's been a teacher upon the Sunnah. So we young ones that our being upon the Sunnah is even just dating few years. Should we not be thanking Allah? Some people talk as A'imma, not as Talaba, as the leaders of the people upon the Sunnah for about 60 years. Imam Ahmad, rahimahullah. And Imam bin Asram said, وَلَقَدْ تَبَيَّنَ عِنْدَ أَهْلِ الْعِلْمِ عِظَمُ الْمُصِيبَةِ لِمَا فَقَدْنَا مِنْ شَيْخِنَا أبي عبد الله أحمد بن حنبل ابن محمد بن حنبل إمامنا ومعلمنا ومعلم من كان قبلنا منذ أكثر من 60 سنة. وموت العالم مصيبة. موت العالم مصيبة لا تجبر. The death of a scholar is a musibah, it's an affliction. La tujba. It cannot be fixed. It won't be fixed. You will only have something to manage yourself in a second. But like him, it will not be fixed. It says, وَمَوْتُ الْعَالِمِ مُصِيبَةٌ. When Abu Bakr as-Siddiq went away, we only have someone in the next category of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, not like in the category of Abu Bakr. Was Umar in the category of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq? Umar himself said to radiyallahu anhu that I give my hands and I doff my heart, words in this name, in respect for Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. Umar himself. And when he brought out Abu Bakr as-Siddiq as the Khalifa immediately after the Prophet Ibrāhīm alayhi salatu wasalam. Anybody who wants to come in front of Abu Bakr, let him come. So that's how it was. When Umar passed away, who was like Umar? And like that, when Uthman passed away, who was like Uthman? So when they go away, we only have someone who is also good. Now, Ali, Kabir, and all that. But not like that one who has gone away. So he says, وَمَوْتُ الْعَالِمِ مُصِيبَةٌ لَا تُجْبَرُ. The death, the demise of the scholar is musibah. It's an affliction. لَا تُجْبَرُ. It is not fixed. وَثُلْمَةٌ لَا تُسَجْ. And a big void that cannot be filled. It's a big void, it will not be filled. It's a musibah, it cannot be fixed. It's a big space that it cannot be filled. May Allah protect us. And this is, when you get from closer to the ulama, you see this reality. Wallahi. Many of them, sometimes you'll be battling with a book. You just got a book, you struggle with it, this is a new book. I'm sure what is in it, nobody has known it. Wallahi, some people. When Zubdatul Afham by Shaykh Sulayman Ar-Ruhayli, it is sharh on Umdatul Ahkam in 3 big volumes. When it just came out, when I bought my copy, that's about 9 years ago, I visited Malam Al-Albani in Zaria. His own copy had got torn. When we just got our own, mashallah, Shaykh Salim. He has very good naz'ah for sharh of ahadith. We were happy with that. So we thought that it was new. But when you visit others, say, so this thing has been there long ago. His own copies had been torn, gone to shred. We just got our own new. And the Taliban will think that, I get one share of Umdatul Ahkam. The things that are inside, Allah al-Musta'an. Just leave me, I'm busy now. Taliban. So when he comes to class, he wants to ask his ustaz a question that the ustaz does not know. But he does not know that that's one where you are just getting it. He has passed it years back. Wallahi, this is true. Years. Years back. Years. is the one who will step into the shoe of that same person. فموت العالم مصيبة لا تجبر وظلمة لا تسد. فقد ظننت, Al-Imam Al-Asram went on to say, فقد ظننت أن عدو الله وعدو المسلمين. I have always thought that the enemy of Allah and the enemy of the Muslims, Iblis wa junuda, Iblis and his soldiers, these are the enemies of Allah and the enemies of the rest of the Muslims. So, لا تتخذوا عدوي وعدوكم. Those are regarding kuffar. How about shaitan? So they are the enemies of Allah and the enemies of the Muslims. The Shaykh says, Hafiz Rahimahullah, Al-Imam Al-Asram, ظننت أن عدو الله وعدو المسلمين إبليس وجنوده قد أعدوا من الفتن أسبابا انتظروا بها فقده. I have always thought that Shaitan and his soldiers amongst the people who follow Shaitan, the people of innovations are also called like that. It says, I knew that they have coined a lot of affliction, trial. In Tazaru biha faqdahu. They were just waiting that the Imam should die. When Ahmad bin Hanbal died, they will start some fitna. So those fitna were established. They were waiting, let Ahmad die, and then they will spread the fitna. Abu Bakr al-Asram was saying that I knew that things like that were on. They have not just brought out the fitna because Ahmad bin Hanbal is here. They are waiting that when he dies, they will bring the fitna up. لأنه كان يقنع باطلهم. Because when he was alive, يقنع باطلهم. He will expose, he will destroy their batil, their evil deeds. He will destroy them. ويزهق أحزابهم. And he will put asunder their gathering. He will destroy their innovations and scatter their gathering. So they were waiting for him to pass away. وكانت أول بدعة علمتها فاشية من الفتن المضلة ومن العماية بعد الهدى ومن العماية بعد الهدى. From one of the first things of innovation, علمتها فاشية, that I knew that was common amongst the fitan al-mudilla, from the fitan that misleads the people, وَمِنَ الْأَمَايَةِ, and from the issues of blindness, ba'd al-huda, after a person has guidance, from the evil things that I had known that the people were doing. أَنْ قَدْ رَأَيْتُ قَوْمًا فِي حَيَاةِ أَبِي عَبْدِ اللَّهِ, was that we saw some of the people during the lifetime of Al-Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, Abu Abdullah. كَانُوا لَزِمُوا الْبَيْتِ. These people stuck to their home. One of the innovations that came up in the time of Al-Imam Ahmad, the people were in their home. لَزِمُوا الْبَيْتِ عَلَىٰ أَسْبَابٍ مِنَ النُّسُكِ وَكِلَّةِ مِنَ الْعِلْمِ. They stayed in their home عَلَىٰ أَسْبَابٍ مِنَ النُّسُكِ. Their intention was just to be making worship. وَكِلَّةِ الْعِلْمِ. And they had very little knowledge. So little knowledge plus worship. In our own times, that describes Jama'atul Tabligh. Little knowledge and lots of claims of worship. Little knowledge but a lot of claims. Worship, ibadah, worship. But with little knowledge. So they stayed in their home. They were not coming out to the people. So what happened? فَأَكْرَمَهُمُ النَّاسِ. These people who were staying in their homes, worshipping with very little knowledge, the people began to honor them. بِبَعْضِ مَا ظَهَرَ لَهُمْ مِنْ حُبِّهِمْ لِلْخَيْرِ. Just because of the things that appear to the people thought that these people are doing what is good. فَأَكْرَمُوهُ. So they began to, and they loved goodness, out of love for goodness. So they began to honor those people who were not coming out of their homes, because they thought that they were upon goodness. فَدَخَلَهُمُ الْعُجُبُ. These people who were staying in their homes, because people started to honor them, thinking that they are upon goodness, and out of their own love for goodness, دَخَلَهُمُ الْعُجْبُ, self-importance came up unto them, مَعَ قِلَّةِ الْعِلْمِ, despite the fact that they had only few knowledge. فَكَانَ لَا يَزَالُ أَحَدُهُمْ يَتَكَلَّمُ بِالْأَمْرِ الْعَجِيبِ. It happened that one of them would always talk, they would always say strange things. يَتَكَلَّمُ بِالْأَمْرِ الْعَجِيبِ. He would say something that is strange. فَيَدْفَعُ اللَّهُ ذَلِكَ بِقَوْلِ الشَّيْخِ. But Allah will put away all those strange statements with some of the explanations that the Imam will make. He will say something strange. He has been in what they call al-khalwa la'an. He's been in khalwa. They will say he was not coming for salah. He prayed at home. He does not see the sun and all of this. Then he comes out and starts to say a lot of funny things. Why? The people honored him, despite the fact that his knowledge was what? So small. So when the people did that, Allah made the Imam's statement to be a means of putting away that claim that they make. Those strange statements that they make, they were explained by the Imam. And Allah put those strange statements those people make, Allah puts it away through the statement of the Shaykh. Jazawullahu afdala ma jaza man ta'allamna minhu. May Allah reward this Imam Ahmad, with the best of the rewards, that he would reward all those that he had learned from. وَلَا يَكُونُ مِنْ أَحَدٍ مِّنْهُمْ مِنْ ذَلِكَ شَيْءٌ إِلَّا كَانَ سَبَبَ فَضِيحَتِهِ وَحَتِّ مَا مَضَى مِنْ سِفْرِهِ وَلَا يَكُونُ مِنْ أَحَدٍ مِّنْهُمْ. There wouldn't be from those people saying that they are staying at home, they are not coming out to the people, they are worshiping, and then people began to honor them. When the Imam says a statement to explain the nullity of their claim, the only thing that will left for these people is that they will not be able to make a statement. When they make a statement, it will be the reason for their disgrace. So they will keep quiet. They will say one strange thing. Let me mention one strange thing. Some of them, many of them have been saying now, that Al-Isra wal-Mi'raj occurred on the 27th of Rajab. It is qawlun ajib, bareed, ba'idun anil haqq. It's a strange statement. There is no proof to say the Messenger alayhi salatu wa salam made Al-Isra wal-Mi'raj on the 27th of Rajab. It's a strange statement. It lacks any proof. It has no proof. So when the people make strange statements like this, also then Imam Ahmad comes to explain. They said this, but it's wrong. Another strange statement, a bit far away from the haqq, even though it should have been said, was that Al-Isra al-Miraj occurred a year before Hijrah. It occurred 3 years before Hijrah. Al-Sahih. Al-Isra al-Miraj occurred 3 years before Hijrah. So they said so many things. If you listen to Khutbah now, you listen to sermons on Fridays now, many of them will say so many, encouraging the people to fast in the month of Rajab. All these things are strange. In those days when they made it, and Imam Ahmad makes a statement, it refutes all those things they say. So when they want to respond to him, their response did not bring them any other than qabaha, disgrace. They became exposed. They said, I can read any money. Became a means of disgrace. وَحَتِّ مَا مَضَى مِنْ سِفْرِهِ. It became a means of tearing the initial covering that they have. They became exposed. The garment, the cotton under which they hid to perpetrate the evils they were perpetrating, the statements of the Imam exposed it. Rahimahullah. So they became exposed. فَأَنَا حَافِظٌ مِّن ذَلِكَ لَأَشْيَاءَ كَثِيرًا. I know many incidences of things like this. Many. Someone would say a statement, Imam Ahmad will give a response, he will want to say another one, he becomes disgraced. Someone would say something, Imam Ahmad will explain, he wants to refute him, he becomes disgraced. One of what was being said at that time was regarding the fact that Allah was regarding the issue that Allah was everywhere. And one of the verses they used to quote in Surah Al-Hadid. Alam ta'lam anna Allah ya'lamu ma fi as-samawati wa ma fi al-ard. Ma yakunu min najwa thalathatin illa huwa rabi'uhum wa la khamsatin illa huwa sadisuhum wa la adna min dhalik wa la akthara illa huwa ma'ahum aw ma'ahum aynama kanu thumma yunabbi'uhum bima 'amilu yawm al-qiyamah. Inna Allah bi kulli shay'in 'alim. They say this means that Allah is with us. Here in His essence. You know, some of the Sufiya, they say, many of them, that Allah is everywhere. Gbogbo di lọ́lọ́run wà, ọ̀rọ̀ ni o, Ọlọ́run bẹ lókè sámà, subhanahu. Amintum man fis sama. So Allah is up above the heavens. It's not with us here. It's with us here in His knowledge, subhanahu. And in His seeing us, and in His hearing us, and in His being aware of everything that we do. But in terms of the physical presence, no. But they say yes. And they quote this verse. So the Imam will say, your case is simple. Read the verse again. What does it say? Alam ta'alamu. Alam ya'lam. Did they not know? Anna Allah. How did Allah start it? He started it with knowledge. وَخَتَمَهُ بِالْعِلْمِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عَلِيمٌ. Allah ended it with ilm. فَهُوَ مَعَكُمْ بِعِلْمِهِ. Allah is with us in terms of His knowledge. Not in terms of His physically being with us. So when they want to refute this kind of a statement, it became clear to the people. These people don't have knowledge. I say, can call here, I say, can call here, lady. So you are just speaking, you don't have the knowledge regarding what you say. The Sheikh says, I know many of these kinds of incidences during the time of Al-Imam Ahmad. وَإِنَّمَا هَذَا مِنْ مَكَائِدِ إِبْلِيسِ. This is no other than from the means of deceit by Iblis. مَعَ جُنُودِهِ. Together with his soldiers. يَقُولُ لِأَحَدِهِمْ. Shaitan, Iblis, will say to one of these Sufi people, Sheikhs, as they call themselves, Sheikhs, as they call themselves, Anta, Waman misluka, you are the one. You are yourself. Waman misluka. Shaitan will be telling the Sheikh, who is it that is like you? Shaitan will whisper to the Sheikh, فَقُلْ قَدْ قَالَ غَيْرُكَ. Say what I say you should say, Gary. People have been saying, so say your own. Shaitan will whisper to these people like this. ثُمَّ يُلْقِي فِي قَلْبِهِ الشَّيْء. Then he will inspire, send into this person's mind that thing that he wants him to say. وَلَيْسَ هُنَاكَ سَعَةٌ فِي عِلْمٍ. And this person does not have any kind of broad knowledge. فَيُزَيِّنُ عِنْدَهُ أَنْ يَبْتَدِئَهُ. So what Shaitan sent to him, inspired him to say, it will make it look beautiful in his sight. So he will encourage him to be the first person to say it. لِيَشْمَتَ بِهِ. When he says it, he becomes disgraced. How does he become disgraced? The Imam will refute them. When the Imam refutes them, it becomes clear to their followers. Say, I can't say when. Allah Makaniwa. So all these they became disgraced in the time. You are just tying, what do they call Tatuba in English? Rosaries on your neck. You are ignorant. So their ignorance became exposed by the Imam Rahimahullah. Because these people lack knowledge and Shaitan is playing with their intellect. Imam Abu Bakr al-Asram went on to say, وَإِنَّ كُلَّ مُحْدَثَةٍ بِدْعَةٌ, and every newly invented matter is a bid'ah. When you say something new, nobody has said it before, it's an innovation. Because this deen is complete. The reason why new things in Islam is an innovation is that Islam had already been complete before. Was Islam complete before? You are sure? What is the proof for that? What Allah said in the Quran. Al-yawma akmaltu lakum dinakum. So it means if it is complete and perfect before, and Allah is pleased with it before, what will a new thing be? A means of misguidance. If something is perfect, nice, whatever design you think you want to add to it, you only want to spoil it. So this thing is perfectly organized by Rabbul Alamin. He says, Akmaltu, I myself perfected your religion for you. Lakum, for you. Wa Akmaltu, I made it to be complete. I perfected, I made it to be complete for you. Wa raditu lakumul Islam adina. And I am pleased with this Islam for you as a gift. So don't ask me, what about microphone? Is microphone being? It's not being. I can throw this microphone away now, we'll make the doubt. We'll still be talking. Can I be low microphone? So when Allah was telling His messenger and the rest of us in the Quran that Akmaltu lakum dinakum, Allah didn't know that microphone will come. Or what you are saying is that Akmaltu lakum dinakum is not true. If you say that it is truthful, so this deen is complete and perfect. Any new thing that somebody can say, I get up to my tele now, my fully bad, that's that will learn new Islam. So it's what he said. Someone asked us, don't worry yourself too much. When they say something, tell them Islam to say cannot be so long. Before the messenger went away, alayhi salatu wassalam, was Islam complete or not? What will he say? Because he knows where you are going. So the next question is this one that you are starting now. So one then back now. Some of them can lie. They can say there's one hadith. Tell me the name of the book of the hadith. Unfortunately, they are usually poor in some of these things. When some people talk about Sahih al-Bukhari amongst them, I'm not even talking about the one whose ignorance became very clear about Sahih al-Bukhari. I'm talking about the ones you may not know. When they read about Sahih al-Bukhari on Manazil, you'll be wondering, say Bukhari then say Bible. You are talking about Sahih al-Bukhari like this? Like something strange and far away? The book next after the Quran. You are talking about it like one strange book. You know the meaning of that? They are far away from its content. They are far away. Far away. Far away. Far away. So when they say, Rawahu al-Bukhari fi sahihihi, and Imam al-Bukhari reported in his book As-Sahih, they will translate it and say, Bukhari saw there, Ninu Hadith, no Sahih. Is that correct? Ninu Hadith, Bukhari, Bukhari saw Ninu Hadith, here, so Sahih. Is that the meaning of Rawah al-Bukhari fi Sahih? Is that the meaning? It's not the meaning. Rawah al-Bukhari fi Sahih, Bukhari bawani no tirare. You must say tirare. You won't say Ninu Hadith here, so Sahih. Because that Sahih you are saying is the name of a book. So they are far away from this thing. They read a book, one of the scholars was teaching recently. He said to us, I'm for you. He said as for him, Sahih al-Bukhari is like Quran. See why? He said because he reads it as frequently as he reads the Quran. Some Talaba don't even have a copy of Sahih al-Bukhari in their house. Don't be surprised. Tell him, oh, the Bukhari, what are you busy with? The point here is that وَإِنَّ كُلَّ مُحْدَثَةٍ بِدْعَةٍ. Every new thing people invent is an innovation. وَكُلَّ بِدْعَةٍ ضَلَالَةٍ. And every newly invented matter is misguidance. وَكُلُّ ضَلَالَةٍ فِي النَّارِ. And every misguidance will end up in the hell. وَقَدْ ظَنَنْتُ أَنَّ آخَرِينَ. I've also been thinking that some of the people يَلْتَمِسُونَ الشُّهْرَةَ. They will be running after popularity. They want to be popular. They want to be popular. So they will be saying something that will contradict what all the rest of the Muslims are saying. Khalifun surah. Be different so that you may be known. Khalif surah. They want to say something that somebody can come and say, the fasting in the month, the entire month, instead of being Ramadan, it should be in Shawwal. You know that he will be known. Will he not be known? Everybody will know him, Sahibul Batil. How about some people who have become to be known as Ashabul Abatil? Maburuku. May Allah protect us from that. The Sheikh says, Al-Imam Abu Bakr Al-Asram said, وَقَدْ ظَنَنْتُ أَنَّ آخَرِينَ. I've always been thinking that for some of the people, يَلْتَمِسُونَ الشُّهْرَةِ. All they are looking for is popularity. وَيُحِبُّونَ أَن يُذْكَرُوا. They like to be mentioned. They like to be praised by the people. That's the reason they say what is not right. Someone can stand up and say, oh, hijab is just Arab culture. Like he said. Hijab is just Arab culture. How can hijab be Arab culture when Allah instructs the wives of the messenger to be behind the hijab? He instructs the companions, وَإِذَا سَأَلْتُمُوهُنَّ مَتَاعًا فَاسْأَلُوهُنَّ مِنْ وَرَاءِ الْحِجَابِ. When you ask the wives of the messenger regarding an issue, ask them from behind the veil. He even told them the reason why they should do that. ذَلِكَ أَدْنَى أَنْ يُعْرَفْنَ فَلَا يُؤْذَيْنَ. That will make you be known. وَإِذَا سَأَلْتُمُوهُنَّ مَتَاعًا فَاسْأَلُوهُنَّ مِنْ وَرَاءِ الْحِجَابِ. ذَلِكَ أَطْهَرُ لِقُلُوبِكُمْ وَقُلُوبِهِمْ. That is best in terms of purity for the hearts of the companions and the wives of the messenger. Talk to women from behind hijab. أَطْهَرُ لِقُلُوبِكُمْ وَقُلُوبِهِمْ. So you come to say it's Arab culture. That Arab culture, the Quran says what you call Arab culture. The Quran says it will bring about piety in the hearts of the companions and the wives of the messenger. Something that will bring about piety. Is that an issue of culture? Is that an issue of culture? And those around him, like we mentioned, Iblis wajunuduhu here. When this man makes this kind of statement, those around him will say, Allahu Akbar. So Iblis is usually not acting alone. He has junud. So when the man says, they say, Allahu Akbar, junud is shaitan. May Allah protect us. So sometimes the reason why they do it is not even that shaitan told them to do something. They themselves, they are looking for popularity. وَقَدْ ذُكِرَ قَبْلَهُمْ قَوْمٌ بِأَلْوَانٍ مِنَ الْبِدَعِ فَاسْتَضَحُوا. Some of the people had been mentioned regarding innovation. Amongst the people who came before these people who are saying new things, they had also mentioned different kinds of, different colors, so to speak, different kinds of innovation. And they became disgraced. What brings about the disgrace of the people of innovation? The explanation from the people of innovation. When you explain, it becomes clear. So he said, one of the reasons why we know that Sahih al-Bukhari was not written by Al-Imam al-Bukhari is that the name of the book is Sahih al-Bukhari. If Sahih al-Bukhari was written by Al-Imam al-Bukhari, why will he call it Sahih al-Bukhari? So you are stating that Sahih al-Bukhari, that is not the name that Bukhari gave the book. We are just referring to it as Sahih al-Bukhari for convenience sake. So we will have to teach him the name of the book, Sahih al-Bukhari. Sorry, Sahih Bukhari, it has a name. What will he have to do? He will have to ask us again, what is the meaning of? What is the name, Jaga? If you say Sahih al-Bukhari, the name is not Sahih al-Bukhari. His reason for saying that not Al-Imam al-Bukhari did not write Bukhari is that the name of the book is Sahih al-Bukhari. You now come to say, it is a mistake you are making. That book you are calling Sahih al-Bukhari, that is not his name. What will he be forced to do? We will now teach him. You see that name, if you want to learn it, he will write it down. Because when you tell him the name, he will not be able to memorize it. He has to write it down. So when a person of innovation says something, the people of Sunnah, they have a duty to explain the falsity in that statement that the person makes. So sometimes the people have been making statements of Sabahu. وَلِأَنْ يَكُونَ الرَّجُلُ تَابِعًا فِي الْخَيْرِ. May Allah protect all of us. لِأَنْ يَكُونَ الرَّجُلُ تَابِعًا فِي الْخَيْرِ. That an individual is a follower upon goodness. خَيْرٌ مِنْ أَنْ يَكُونَ رَأْسًا فِي الشَّرِّ. It's better for him that he is a leader upon evil, that you are a follower upon what? Goodness. In terms of goodness, it's better for you than that in terms of evil you are in front. It's better for you to be a follower upon goodness than that you are now a leader upon evil. May Allah protect all of us. لأن يكون الرجل تابعا في الخير خير من أن يكون رأسا في الشر. نسأل الله السلامة والعافية. This statement was from Al-Imam Abu Bakr Al-Asram. He is talking about the importance of the scholar and the fact that when they pass away, a void is left. But when they are around, لا يزال الناس بخير. The people will continue to be upon goodness. ما بقي العلماء. As long as the scholars remain with them, they will be upon goodness. That's why it's from the duties of the scholars to explain when people bring about shubha. See this point? This is the reason. This is the reason. This is the reason. You see this point? This one is wrong. This one. May Allah protect us all. So from the basic rulings in the times of Fitan is that we must speak to our scholars. We must take knowledge from them. We also must be begging Allah to keep them to remain amongst us, so that when we have issues and ambiguity, we have somebody to run to clarify those ambiguities. Now, al-aslu al-khams. Shaykh Sulayman Ar-Ruhayli, he continued in his book in what he referred to as al-aslu al-khams.
الأصل الخامس. الأصل الخامس. قال شيخ سليمان بن سليم الله الرحيلي حفظه الله ورعاه: من فقه الفتن لزوم الجماعة المسلمين وإمامهم، فالجماعة راس الخير، ولا جماعة إلا بإمام، والفرقة راس الشر. فعن حذيفة بن يمان رضي الله عنه يقول: كان الناس يسألون رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم عن الخير، وكنت أسأله عن الشر مخافة أن يدركني، فقلت: يا رسول الله، إنا كنا في الجاهلية وشر، فجاءنا الله بهذا الخير، فهل بعد هذا الخير شر؟ قال نعم. فقلت هل بعد ذلك الشر من خير؟ قال نعم. ففيه دخن وفيه دخن. قلت وما دخنه؟ قال قوم يستنون بغير سنتي ويهدون بغير هدي تعرف منهم وتنكر. فقلت هل بعد ذلك الخير من شر؟ قال نعم، دعاة على أبواب جهنم من أجابهم إليها قذفوه فيها. فقلت يا رسول الله عليه الصلاة والسلام صفهم لنا. قال نعم، قوم من جلدتنا ويتكلمون بألسنتنا. قلت يا رسول الله فما ترى إن أدركني ذلك؟ قال تلزم جماعة المسلمين وإمامهم. فقلت فإن لم تكن له جماعة ولا إمام؟ قال فاعتزل تلك الفرق كلها ولو أن تعد على أصل شجرة حتى يدركك الموت وأنت على ذلك. رواه البخاري ومسلم.
The next point the Shaykh mentioned, Hafizahullah, he called it Al-Asl Al-Khamis. Al-Asl Al-Khamis. Al-Asl Al-Rabi is Luzum Al-Ulama. When there's fitna, stick to your scholar. Simply put, Al-Asl Al-Rabi in the Al-Fitan, La Budda min Luzum Al-Ulama. Stick to the scholar. Ask them. Seek clarification. When they are not talking, keep quiet. Because sometimes some of the matters might not have been clear. They are still waiting for more information to know what to do. Don't go in front. At least somebody has to say something. Keep quiet. Keep quiet. I always say this a lot. Keep quiet. When you are quiet, you are protecting yourself. And when you ask, why are you not talking? You say, our ulama are not there, they want to talk, not you. You would have protected yourself from shaitan. May Allah protect all of us. The next point the Sheikh mentioned, he said, min Fiqh Al-Fitan, luzumu jama'atil muslimin wa imami. From the basic rulings regarding the times of fitan is luzumu jama'atil muslimin. The first one, luzumu al-ulama. Sticking to the scholars. This one, sticking to the generality of the Muslims wa imamihim and their leader. The first one, scholars. The second one, the jama'ah of the Muslims and their leaders. Wait also, what will the leaders of the Muslims say? Some young people will say, they are not saying anything. They will say something. Your youngness makes you think that they should say at the time that you think that they should say it. You want them to say it when the fire is burning, so that the fire can burn more. Because you're a young person, they will prefer to say at a time that their statements will quell the fire. But as a young person full of agitations and agility, you want them to say it. When those Christians say, you say it our own. That's why Khan has been seeking like a youth group. They have been seeking like a youth organization. Like boys under 40. Sorry to say, but that is the truth. The Christian Association of Nigeria, they teach like children. Why? They make statements that agitate and ignite the society. Rather than as elders, make statements that will calm the society and bring peace. They make statements that will ignite trouble. If you observe at that time, the leaders of the Muslims will not say anything. They will keep quiet. When they will say something, they say, we encourage Muslims. Everybody stay in your home. Everybody speak to your family. Everybody, they will just advise everybody and keep quiet. This is what Yorubas call Oro Agbalagba. You see those people talking earlier, what is their own statement? Oromade. They speak like children. So don't be deceived. I deliberately mentioned because it is one of the fitan in our time. Young people start saying, where are our scholars? Where are our leaders? Where is Sultan? Oh, the only thing he knows is to announce the month of Ramadan. That is not the only thing that he knows. You are saying that because you are still a young boy. How many things do elders see and they keep quiet? Elders, when they see, they keep quiet. And when they talk a little. They expect that that little talk will give birth to other thoughts inside your mind because they think that you're a reasonable person. But you see the other group, they want to agitate you, scatter the whoa, ho, 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 ho. And they are the ones who will complain that 10% is not coming again. You caused it now. You caused violence in the community. So why are you expecting 10% under violence? They say, okay, the people can send the 10% by bank transfer. The problem is that you brought these kinds of agitations in the community. So from the aspects of luzumu jama'atil muslimin wa imamihim, sticking to the body of the Muslims, the generality of the Muslims. What are our leaders saying and doing? That is what we should say and do. And our leaders, what are they saying? What are they doing? Stick to what they say and do. And many times the leaders will always consult ulama. I tell you this, even on moon sighting, they consult the ulama. Before they make speeches, they ask them, what should we say? So don't say, this kind of thing they have said, it's not even in line with hadith. How many hadiths do you know? So be calm. Stick to the generality of the Muslims, wa imami, and the leaders of the Muslims. The evidence for this that when there is fitna, we should stick to jama'atul muslimin wa imamihim is, he said for that before he cited that hadith of Huzayf ibn al-Yaman. He says, min fiqh al-fitan luzumu jama'atul muslimin wa imamihim. From the basic rulings of fitan is that we should stick to the generality of the Muslims and their imam, their leaders. فَالْجَمَاعَةُ رَأْسُ الْخَيْرِ Allahu Akbar. Al-Jama'atu Ra'sul Khair. Some of these statements of Shaykh Sulayman Ar-Ruhayli should be written in gold, as they say. It doesn't mean that get gold and write it with gold. What it means is that it should be written in a manner that will not be forgotten. فَالْجَمَاعَةُ رَأْسُ الْخَيْرِ. Togetherness, kajawa, the generality of the people, being with them is the head of goodness. Is the head of goodness. And one of the evidence for that is that the messenger told us, alayhi salatu, la tajtami'u ummati ala dalala. My ummah will not gather upon misguidance. So when the generality of the Muslims are silent, be silent. That is a guided position. When they speak, say just what they say. So the Sheikh says, فَالْجَمَاعَةُ رَأْسُ الْخَيْرِ. Togetherness, being together, is the head of goodness. وَلَا جَمَاعَةَ إِلَّا بِإِمَامٍ. We cannot also say there is a jama'ah, one single jama'ah. This is one of the problems in the community. If we say what we are saying now, they say, okay, which jama'ah should we follow? Is it Nasfat? Is it Ansaruddin? Is it TMC? Is it MSF? Which one should we follow? You see the trouble now. Oh yeah, tell us which one to follow. That's why we always say, Jama'atun la Jama'at. This ummah is one single ummah of Muslims, not broken into pieces, into beads. Allah warned us regarding that. وَلَا تَكُونُوا مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ. Don't be like idolaters. What do idolaters do? فَرَّقُوا دِينَهُمْ مِنَ الَّذِينَ فَرَّقُوا. These are the people who broke their religion into parts. وَكَانُوا شِيَعًا. They fell into groups and parties. كُلُّ حِزْبٍ. Every party, every group, every society, every association. The man are there is farihun. They are proud with what they are upon. You don't be like that. Are this society, each of them proud with what they are upon or not? Which one is the best? Ba'idun aw qaribun. Which one is the best? You see now. Kullu hizbin bima ladayhim. These are not the people they say we should stick to. Because each of these groups does not form the generality of the Muslims. Jama'atul Muslimin. It is not Jama'atun min al-Muslimin. A group amongst the Muslims. The generality of the Muslims. It is a different thing from a group amongst the Muslims. The MSF is a group amongst the Muslims. So during Fitan, don't listen to the Amir of this kind of a group. Don't listen to him. Why? He is not the one that you are told to listen to. One Amir of one Ba'id society comes and he says, don't listen to him. Why? You are not the one they said I should listen to. In our own community and region, the government that has sultan, authority, recognizes the leadership of one person as the leader of Nigerian Muslims. The government of Nigeria recognizes one person. And governments are those who have authority, power. I always say, gbogbo àwọn amiru tẹ́ ń jẹ́ lágbára kankan kò sí nǹkan tó jẹ́ ìmọ̀ràn lára yín ẹ kàn ń pe àpèmọ́ra irọ́ ni. Kẹ́ sọ pé rap it pays you than to say Amir. You don't know the meaning of Amir? Some of them go to say Amirul Mu'minin. It's because he's the Amir of MSS. Come and say, yo, how can you be Amirul Mu'minin? Which Mu'minun are those? Those who are called Umara'ul Mu'minin in the past, you don't know how they are? I always give this example. A hunter, his grandfather, when he hunted, he killed an elephant. When you hunt, you kill a rat. You called for a party because you killed a rat during your hunting. But your father saw killing an elephant as a normal thing in the day. The point here is that it is not these jama'at that they are talking about. Jama'atul Muslim, the generality of the Muslims, is what you should stick to. Wa imami. And they are one leader. Otherwise, if you want to follow all these groups, who is the leader? Is it the leader of the... Which one will you follow? Deen, all the deens. Which one will you follow? So these are not the people that are in reference. فَالْجَمَاعَةُ رَأْسُ الْخَيْرِ. Because somebody can come and say, look at them when they say جَمَاعَةُ رَأْسُ الْخَيْرِ. The generality of the Muslims together. رَأْسُ الْخَيْرِ. It is the center point of goodness. وَلَا جَمَاعَةَ إِلَّا بِإِمَامٍ. This la and the ism that comes in front of it is mufrad. So there is no single jama'ah of the generality of the people. You won't find it. Except that there is an imam. So we can have a region as big as Nigeria with about 250 million people. And those in authority and power recognize one Muslim as our leader. That is our leader. He is the leader of the Muslims. But the leader of the Muslims, because the power regarding that has been vested on him. How about the one who vested the power on him? Let me be down to earth. Bukhari recognizes the Sultan as the leader of the Muslims. So if the overall head is the ruler, is a Muslim too, who is the overall ruler of the Muslims? Al-Bukhari. Bukhari, the ruler of the Muslims. The ruler of the Muslims. Because he's the ruler on the land that Allah has given sultan to, power to. I'm sure nobody here will doubt that Allah gave Al-Bukhari power. If you say you don't say it here, just wait, let me go out first. May Allah protect all of us. وَلَا جَمَاعَةَ إِلَّا the Imam. So there is no Jama'ah except Imam. So when Bukhari has not spoken, be patient, he will speak, he will say something. He may not say what you want. But I tell you, there is no leader like them who do not say things that are reasonable. Political enemies manipulate what they say. I tell you this. And give the people wrong interpretations of what the president has said. There's no leader who wants fire to burn under him. No leader. He wants calmness. That's why every leader fights protests and confrontation very strongly, because they want to stop, don't allow me to rule. So when he says something, he has said what? Based on all the information that gets to him, he has said the best. And wallahi la ilaha illa huwa. There are information that our leaders get that we don't ever know about. And they take the decisions they will take and make the speech that they will make depending on those information in their disposal, available to them. You that you don't have information, you begin to query them. Why did you say this? We expect you to say whether there was shooting or not. That's your expectation. Is he a leader because he can speak according to your own expectations? Okay, I am not expecting him to say that there were shootings in Lekki. You want him to say there was shooting in Lekki. Me, I don't want him to say that there are shootings in Lekki. The speech of the president was short of what you expected, Abi. It was full of what I expected. So you see, you don't run government like that. So when you read comments, people make, hey, government said this, Buhari said this, why did you not say about this? I say, because you are all children, you don't know anything. Or make a Kenya and monk. They are youth now. You don't know anything. If they knew, they won't talk to government like that. Because governance is not like that. Governance is not like that. Why is it that when a person becomes a president, even though he does not have one gray hair, he becomes covered up? Dr. Goodluck Jonathan was there. He was a young man, easy going in a lecturer, judge. When he became the president, what did he see? Gray hair. So don't be surprised, you 35-year-old man, if you become president, what will you gain? All your hairs will go away. His own is gray, your own will go. In tí ojú àgbàlagbà rí tó fi kó sínú, tí ojú ọmọdé bá rí. That's why the companions, Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu would always say, A'udhu billahi min imarat at-Tibyān. I ask the refuge of Allah from the rulership of a young boy. A'udhu billahi min dhalik. May Allah protect us from that. So stick to what the government says. That is what you should stick to. If they say do this, do it. If they say don't do it, don't do it. If they say keep quiet, keep quiet. If they say, oh, tomorrow we'll do this, everybody will do that tomorrow. When they are not doing what everybody sees clear, this is wrong, we say, oh Allah, guide our leader. Oh Allah, guide them. Oh Allah, guide them. Pray for them sincerely. This is the way of the people of the Sunnah. Then Fiqh Al-Fitan, لزوم جماعة المسلمين وإمامهم. فالجماعة رأس الخير ولا جماعة إلا لإمام والفرقة رأس الشر. الفرقة رأس ماذا؟ رأس الشر. يقين أنلولي أبورو. The worst of what you would have is discordant voices. Because it is when the voices are discordant that people start fighting themselves. Lives become lost. May Allah protect us all. He wants to give an evidence for that with the hadith of Huzaifa ibn al-Yaman. I think we can stop here. But let's understand this part. What our leaders say is what we should say during fitan. What our leaders say, don't say, oh, you are explaining, you are analyzing, you are deducting, don't. You are asking a question, you are commenting, don't. Keep quiet. Say what they say, stick to what they say. If the governor of Lagos, when the the buses in Lagos began to be burnt down, if the governor said, everybody stop, and people stop, would we have seen the kind of carnage that we saw in Lagos? A lot of people were killed too. Houses were burnt. Businesses were destroyed. Buses were burnt. Was it the governor who was riding on those buses? And I don't think those buses have been replaced now. So if the governor, who is the leader of the people in Lagos, they come and say, oh, everybody keep quiet, sorry, I will address the matter. Was it not sufficient for us to keep quiet? And if you say, no, it's not sufficient for us to keep quiet, okay, you tell me what you do for you to keep quiet. Scrap, start. Okay, start, scrap. Say, no, end start. We say we have already ended it already. So you see the trouble. Listen to your leaders. Listen to your leaders. And there are a lot of people, when markets became closed as a result of the fitna, markets became closed, workplaces became closed. How many people became hungry? Many. That led to looting, armed robbery, so many things that happened later on. So which one was better? Did you think we could have survived that in 1 month? Could have survived that anarchy in 1 month? May Allah protect all of us. Our own fathers were in the forefront during the Civil War. If they tell you a little bit about it, many times I say, these Igbo boys. Fortunately, we also read a little bit. Odumegwu Ojoko's book. What did he call it? Apart from because I was involved. Now, because I'm involved, he has another book smaller than that. No. Why we struck is about the 1966 coup. Now, what is the book, Mr. Apa? Because they see it every day. A small book by Ojuku about the Civil War. And then I watched a lot of documents. But the basic information I have about Civil War is that I heard from my father and mother how the Civil War was. I lost an uncle in that time. My father's younger brother died during the Civil War. His name is Abdul-Ghaffar. So if you hear about the Civil War and what happened, and Obasanjo just, what's his name? He has a book too. Now? My Command. Obasanjo's My Command. If you read about the Civil War, I don't think any Igbo man should say they want to fight a war. Those people who be saying they want to fight a war are the small boys, 1980 boys. 1980, 1990. Small boys. They are the ones who say they want to fight. That's why recently Ohaneze Igbo, they said that we don't, keep quiet, small boys. We, the elders, we are talking. You can't control us. Did you read that? Ohaneze Igbo. They said it. They said all these small boys, keep quiet. You can't control us. They saw war. May Allah protect us. When someone was saying they want to fight a war, Niger Delta, they will fight a war. One of the first presidents, I think that was Ibrāhīm Babangida, he said wars are not announced in hotel rooms. It's not hotel matter. It's not inside hotel. I want chicken. What do you want, sir? Give me chicken and rice. Do you have mama? I don't have. That's not the case with war. May Allah protect all of us. Let us listen to our government, our leaders. When they speak, keep quiet, keep quiet. Be calm, be calm. We will discuss it, Let's wait to see what will happen. If they don't, we ask again. I've been looking at police these days. What has changed in police? Sorry, I'm not abusing police. What do you think has changed in police? What did your answer gain? What did you gain? What did you gain in all the trouble? Police has now changed. Oh, they will beat you for that protest. I think now they protest. Any young boy who becomes unfortunate to have a case to go to police station now, no jegba protest here. I don't need jegba protest. You look like somebody who can protest. So we'll be saying, may Allah protect us. Our basic interest is that there should be peace. That we are patient in hardship is better than that we are patient in war. There is no patience in war. Oh, Masakani. May Allah protect all of us. This is our own word. We don't want the city, the town to be in anarchy. During that time, there became a time when area boys came out and began to collect money from people on the street. So people did not have anybody to run to. So the mere fact that there is something called police is enough. People can hear that there is police. And they will understand. If you hear the armed robbers are robbing in a particular place, the police will start with their siren. Merely hearing the siren of police, it puts armed robbers and evil people in tremor. They will not be calm again. They want to run away. Even when the police is still far away. It's a psychological torture for persons who do evil. It means the police presence is important. That one is better than a situation where there is no police. When there is no police, there is trouble. So be patient over a difficult police is better for you than patience with a difficult thug. Where do you take a thug to? When thugs take over the cities, where do you take them to? Who do you report them to? You can say you want SARS to end and SARS can end. But if thugs take over the streets, who will you tell that you want them to end? Who will you report the thugs to? May Allah protect all of us. I think we should be reasonable and we should prioritize our goods. Evil too can be prioritized. So that you manage a lesser evil than that you getting yourself into a worse evil. May Allah protect us all. I think we can ask a few questions now. One or two so that we can go because of that. The time is fast spent already. If there is none, I'll be glad. Alaykum as-salam. كيف الحال? Now, can we say Jazakumullahu خير الجزاء أو Jazakumullahu خيرا? If you say Jazakumullahu خيرا, this is mansusun alayh. This one has a text on it. You have just stick to the text. If you say Jazakallahu khaira ma jaza kulla man qad ta'allamna minhu, you started talking. You have just prayed for him generally. That's general dua. There's difference between making general dua and making a dua that the Prophet said you should make. Man sana lakum ma'rufa faqulu lahu Jazakallahu khaira. Whoever does good to you, say to him, Jazakallahu khaira. You may be sticking to this sunnah, or you may just want to make dua generally. What Al-Imam Abu Bakr Al-Asram did is that he's just making dua generally for Al-Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal. It's not as if he's sticking to the text. And that's, both of them are allowed. But the first one, sticking to the text is better. Allahu Akbar. Alaykum as-salam. Lawyer. How do people behave in court? When I said if you were hiding, I was looking for you. You used to sit here. Now you are sitting behind there. Now, you are not a lawyer. Are you a lawyer too? Look at the lawyer behind you. Don't worry, after you, then we call it a day, inshallah. Now, in a situation where when you have a Christian president, he's still your ruler. The Sultan derives his sultan from him. If Sultan gives a particular address regarding Islam and the Muslims. We stick to it. If the president is not a Muslim, don't say slightly. Say he gives a different order. What do we do? Sultan says stay at home. The president says come out. You will come out. Because the sultan of the sultan is Far'un and sultati as-sultan. He is deriving power from him. So the actual leader of the people on the town is that non-Muslim ruler. And Islam does not allow us to contradict a non-Muslim ruler when he has not commanded us something that is disobedient to the rules of the Sharia. If he says, don't move on Aleku Wado today, and your Sultan says, move on Aleku Wado, or the Sultan said earlier, because it is not common for Sultan to speak in difference to what all his statements. He will hardly speak against the sitting government. So in case he was the first person who made a statement, don't come to Aleku Wado, and then the president says, go to Aleku Wado, the Sultan will not say anything again. You know why? Because he understands that he does not have the right to contradict the superior power. So you follow that one. Do you understand? If the Supreme Court, if the appeal court gives a ruling and Supreme Court says otherwise, what will you follow? You follow the rule of the Supreme Court. Even though it's a Christian leading judge, does it make sense to you? The only difference is when that non-Muslim ruler gives us an instruction that is contradicting the rules of the Sharia. فَلَا طَاعَةَ لِلْمَخْلُوقِ فِي مَعْصِيَةِ الْخَالِقِ. So that's why if you go to London, when you are in London, the ruler of your people there, when you say, who is your leader? Is it the president or the prime minister of London or UK as the case may be? Is it clear to you? If you go to Ghana, your ruler at the time, who is Osei Kufo? Is it Osei Kufo? The president of Ghana. Osei Kufo has left. He was a footballer. But the last president had the name Kufo too. Nana Kufo. I know Kufo. You know those days. So Nana Kufo is still the president. He took a vaccine recently. 3 days ago, I think. Or 4 days ago. The AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine. So if you are there, the leader is that person. But he said the leader of the Muslims. You see, the Muslims are just a group amongst the entirety of the people that this man is a leader of. Or is just the leader of non-Muslims. He's not the leader of the Muslims. By law. He has authority over the Muslims or not? He does have. Don't forget that the Messenger alayhi salatu wasalam sent some Muslims under the rulership of the king of Habasha at the time. At the time he was not a Muslim. And the Prophet still recognized his leadership alayhi salatu wasalam and asked for Muslims to seek protection under that same leadership before the man accepted Islam. So the leadership of non-Muslims are recognized in non-Muslim lands. The only time we do not follow them, and even those in Muslim lands and Muslims, is when instructions are given contradicting and violating the Sharia. Is it clear, lawyer? Alaykum salam. We have somebody, please. Just a moment. Now that the overall president and the Sultan are both Muslims, you say what? Okay, he wants to give us an example. Okay. That is not an instruction to us. It is in terms of their analysis and understanding of a particular situation. That can be different. But in terms of do this, don't do this. You won't find Sultan telling us to do something when the president says don't, or vice versa. Do you understand what we say now? They can differ in an understanding of a situation. This is normal amongst every people. A father can see it differently, the son will see it differently. Is it clear, please? I ask the question. Just go on, please. The question is answered. Somehow answered. Now, Baba Onifila Gogi. Now, what should be the stand of a Muslim school owner? He should not like those days. He should know that, not just that one. Say Christmas holiday. Is there any difference? Is there any difference? Christmas holiday. No difference. Because the Muslim does not believe in those holidays. So even when he does not go to school, he is not going to school, not because he believes in those days, but because the government says don't come out to school. If you are not going to your office on the 25th of December, if it comes on a Monday, it's an office day, working day, the offices will be closed. I am not going to the office on the 25th of December because government is not opening the office. Not because I believe that. Not just that, even Hijrah Day, 1st of Hijrah, is from the innovations in our times. Adadale ni o, Bibia ni o. 1st of Hijrah. So if you don't go to work because Osun State government or state of wherever has said don't come, you are just obeying their don't come. It's not because you believe that that day should be a free day that the people should not work. Like the day of Eid. That's why even if they say come to your office on the day of Eid, inside your mind you know that today should not be a working day. It should be ayamul akli wa shurb. And play and enjoyment and amusement with family. Do you understand? Is it clear? I think we can stop here for today. Okay, please, let's take your question. Now, what is what? Should be the position of the Muslims regarding, he called it controversial vaccine. We don't have the time because the matter will make us discuss a lot of things. A lot. But summary is that Islam does not frown at vaccines. Not just vaccines. Any means of protecting yourself against a real disease that you can contract. Really. Finding a means of protecting yourself from it is not wrong in Islam. It's in fact encouraged. Now, specifically, COVID-19 vaccine. Should we take COVID-19 vaccine? Well, there have been a lot of issues over the world. Should we take? Should we not take? There are conspiracies. They want to change our DNA. They want to place a metal. I don't know how they will place a metal that will send signals inside a fluid that will be absorbed by a syringe. And all of this, if you study the science of what the people are raising as issues and the responses to it scientifically, you find that most of the accusations are false. They are not true. There's nothing wrong with the vaccines. It is right to take vaccines in Islam. There's nothing wrong with taking vaccines. But the issue is, I am not convenient with bringing a 65% effective vaccine to Nigeria. Why bring AstraZeneca to Nigeria? Why not others? Why AstraZeneca? This is a problem that I have. Because AstraZeneca is 65% efficient. The answer that I have gotten to are they. The first response is that it is cheaper. The second response is that AstraZeneca, for a 65% efficacy, some of the people have said, well, COVID-19 has not been devastating in Africa as it has been in other countries. So So a small vaccine with that level of efficiency is okay for us. This is another thing that they have said. It is cheaper and that our immunity has done a lot of work for us. So 65% efficiency for them, for a vaccine like AstraZeneca, is okay for us. So I think these explanations are good enough. The other question that I have as an individual is that if will AstraZeneca be the same AstraZeneca in Australia and Nigeria? Will it not poison our own? Don't say we cannot poison it, because we have seen you poison some polio vaccines in North Nigeria by Pfizer. It was in the news. It's not a secret. So if AstraZeneca is good in America, if it is good in the UK, if it is good in Australia and it is useful, will it be the same thing you bring to us? If it is the same thing you bring to us, then we should take it. If it is not the same thing we bring to us, then we should be careful about it. May Allah protect all of us. I think that's a straightforward response to it. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.